I want to talk to you guys about bloom finish today. Ta-da! This is an essential for your resin stash if you're sealing your artwork or sealing anything. It could be mixed media, it could be watercolour, it could be a mural on the wall, it could be acrylics, whatever you've got needs sealing before you come in with resin or PVA or varnish. Varnish? Whoa, varnish is the one I meant. Okay, so it does look a little bit pasty and a little bit yellow and it stinks of fish, but that is the UV stabilisers in it. It's meant to be smelly, the smellier the better. I don't want to hear you moan about the smell. But we made this piece yesterday, had workshops yesterday, and we did some beautiful Colorado mountains in resin and a little bit of acrylic painting on top. So what we need to do today, the plan is to do a beautiful resin top coat. But if we pour resin straight on our water-based acrylics, they're going to bleed. So we need to come on in with our beautiful bloom finish and do a gorgeous top coat on our mountains. And then tomorrow, 24 hours later, we can come in and do our top coat. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, non-toxic, super smelly top coat varnish for your artwork. Give it a good mix. It's non-toxic, but you can wear gloves. If you have your nails done or anything nice like that, you don't really want to get this stuff on them because it's not coming off. But it is a bit whiffy. Okie dokie, so I'm using an old paintbrush because this stuff isn't very pleasant. It will wash off an old paintbrush. Just use soapy water or use my resin scrub. That'll get it nice and clean again. It is water-based, it is non-toxic. You might prefer to put gloves on, especially if you've got a fresh mani. You don't want to trash your nails. So all I'm going to do is just literally apply it with my brush all over my resin artwork. Now it's quite thick and gloopy, so you will get brush marks. I always use a soft bristled brush like a watercolour brush. You'll have less brush mark strokes of brush marks in your work if you use one of those. But alternatively, you could dilute it a little bit, 1-to-1 ratio with water, and spritz it on your work if you'd rather that. But because I'm coming in with a resin top coat, I really don't mind about brush marks and brush strokes in the surface. So I've actually got a lot of acrylic paint on here, so it's already texturized. So I'm just literally going to apply it on. And I don't want to go back and forth far too much. I want to just do enough to cover the paint. And what it's going to do as well is an added layer of UV protection. So if this piece has had paints on it or resin pigments that aren't UV stable, none of mine hopefully, but any other brands that might not be as UV tolerant, this stuff's going to do its best to help protect your artwork. So I'm just literally covering it up. You can already see it popping because it's so beautiful with enhancing colour. I'm just using a flat wash brush. They are the best. You might use a hake brush if you've got a hake brush in your palette. So I'm going to wait about an hour and then apply another coat. And then I'm going to come back tomorrow and do my one coat Apex resin top coat. There we go. So I'm going to use the Apex resin one coat for this one, only because it's perfect for top coats. It's got that thick viscous feel about it. You could use the quantum resins if you want to, but I'm going to go in with one coat. Now the weather is really humid at the moment, so you're going to want to cover your pieces as they cure just to protect them from the moisture in the atmosphere. So the amine components in the hardener can react with the moisture and the CO2 and it causes like a carbonic acid finish. It's like an oil slick layer on your resin if you don't cover your pieces in a humid environment. And it's very humid here in the studio, and I've got the aircon on and I've got lots of plants around, the kettle boiling, all of the stuff, the known culprits to playing havoc with your resin top coats. So I'm going to stir this up for a couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm going to get this piece poured. My 2 layers of bloom finish are now very dry and I am ready to do my top coat. So we've got our lovely resin ready and mixed, and all I'm going to do is cover my work. I'm probably going to try and not get too much spilling over the edges. It makes it easier for me for tidying up underneath, but also it just means there's less surface tension issues likely to happen. So I am going to go for it. This bit is so satisfying. And you could use your lollipop sticks or your spatulas to spread the resin over the surface, but I don't really want to scratch my artwork, and I just feel like I've got more control when I use my fingers. So I'm just looking at it from different angles to make sure that I've got an even coverage over. If you've got quite textured paint on your surface, you might need to do 2 coats. So I'll keep my eye on that, but actually I think if I just come in now with the chef's torch and pop all the bubbles, we are good to leave it to cure. Okay, top coat's on. I'm going to just do a very quick torch of any spare bubbles that need popping. Some of the gases will pop on their own anyway, but otherwise I'm going to come back later on. I'm going to cover it with a big plastic box, and then I'm going to come back and check it later. Thanks guys, I'll show you the finished result. Hey guys, so our piece is now finished. I'm just going to do my edges, some final stages, but otherwise the bloom finish has done its job. It's going to go up on the wall in the studio, and yeah, super proud that that acrylic painting was protected before my Apex top coat. What do you think? Let me know. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next video.